Welcome to Redacted Reality. If the allure of the shadowy, cryptic, and mystical tales captivate you, then please subscribe and hang around. Chapter 2: The Tavern Keeper's Warning. Marcus hunched his shoulders against the light rain, his mind churning with the warnings from the tavern patrons. Every step towards the hotel felt heavier than the last. The Whittaker house wasn't just haunted. It was something worse. Something that had sunk its roots deep into the town's psyche. Headlights swept across him as the truck pulled into the parking lot. Marcus squinted through the drizzle as the vehicle came to a stop. The driver's door swung open and Tom, the tavern owner, stepped out. "Marcus, right?" Tom called over, jogging over with the keys jingling in his hand. "Yeah, that's me." Marcus wiped rainwater from his face. "Heading back to the hotel." Tom gestured towards the tavern. "You got a minute? Elmer mentioned you were asking about the Whittaker place." "Word travels fast. Small town and mobile phones," Tom shrugged. "But that's not what I wanted to talk about. Heard you and your friends were involved in what happened with Miranda." Marcus tensed. "What about her?" "Nothing bad." Tom raised his hands. "Just curious. She's been a part of this place as long as I can remember. Ghost stories, cold spots, whispers in the stairwell. But something's different now." He paused, raindrops beating in his gray-flecked beard. "She's gone." "Gone?" "Since that last night Nick Doyle stayed here, not a single whisper. No cold spots, nothing. First time in decades." Tom studied Marcus's face. "You folks had something to do with that, didn't you?" Marcus glanced towards the hotel in the distance, then back at Tom. The rain was coming down harder now. "Come back inside," Tom offered. "On the house. I'd like to know what happened." Something in the man's voice, genuine curiosity mixed with relief, made Marcus nod. "Alright, but I'm soaked. Got a space heater in the office." Inside, the tavern had emptied except for Elmer nursing a final drink in the corner. Tom led Marcus to a small office behind the bar, flipped on a space heater, poured 2 fingers of whiskey in a glass. "So," Tom said, sitting into his chair, "Miranda's gone." Marcus warmed his hands around the glass. "We found her remains and gave her a proper burial." "After all this time?" Tom's eyebrows rose. "Where?" "Valley Forge, Eastern Edge." Marcus took a sip, the whiskey burning pleasantly. There was more to her story than the tavern ghost tales. Marcus explained about Miranda's connection to the Revolutionary War, Jasper Doyle's betrayal, and how Nick had helped release her spirit. He carefully omitted mentions of the demon, sticking to a simplified version that wouldn't sound completely insane. Tom leaned back, absorbing the information. "I'll be damned. All these years. We thought she was just angry about being murdered here." "Well, she never died here," Marcus said. "She was killed elsewhere. But her connection to this place was strong. And now she's at peace?" Marcus nodded. "Seems that way." Tom shook his head in wonder. "My grandfather used to say she'd whisper in his ear while he was closing up. Mom swore she saw her on the stairs once." He looked at Marcus with newfound respect. "Thank you. All of you." "Don't think as yet," Marcus said grimly. "We've still got the Whittaker house to deal with." Tom's expression darkened. "That's different. Miranda was just a lost soul. That house..." He trailed off. "I know. I've been getting warnings all afternoon." "Listen to them," Tom said seriously. "Whatever happened with Miranda was a good thing. But the Whittaker place? People don't come back from there the same. If they come back at all." Marcus stared into his glass. "We don't have much choice. It's connected to something bigger." "Then watch each other's backs," Tom advised. "And maybe stock up on more than just courage before you go." The rain drummed against the roof a steady rhythm that seemed to echo Tom's warning. Marcus finished his whiskey, the warmth doing little to dispel the chill that had settled in his bones. Marcus set his empty glass down, his fingers drumming against the worn wooden desk. The warnings he collected all day swirled in his mind. Fragments of fear without substance, ghost stories without specifics. Tom, I appreciate the concern, but vague warnings aren't going to help us. Marcus leaned forward. Everyone in town clams up when we ask for details about the Whittaker house. They tell me to stay away, share some cryptic story about a cousin's friend who went missing, but nothing concrete. Tom's weathered face remained impassive. People don't like talking about it. I get that. But we need more than superstition if we're going to face whatever's in there. Marcus gestured towards the tavern beyond the office door. This place is the heart of the community. People talk to you, share things they wouldn't tell outsiders like me. You're asking me to collect information for you? I'm asking for help, Marcus said, his usual sarcastic edge absent. The collective knowledge of this town could save our lives. Floor plans, structural weaknesses, patterns to the disappearances, anything that might give us an advantage. Rain pattered against the window as Tom considered the request. We helped Miranda find peace after centuries, Marcus pressed. That house has been hurting people in this town for generations. Maybe we can stop it. Tom refilled Marcus's glass and then his own. That's a tall order. I know. Marcus didn't touch the whiskey. But we're going in regardless. The question is whether we'll be going in blind or prepared. Tom took a slow sip, eyes distant. There's old man Harker, who used to do maintenance there in the 50s. Margaret's aunt worked as a maid before the place was abandoned. A few others might know bits and pieces. That's exactly what we need. I'm not promising anything, Tom cautioned. Some wounds run deep in this town. People have lost family to that place. All the more reason to end it, Marcus said. Tom sighed heavily. Let me think on it. I've got contacts, but I won't push anyone who doesn't want to talk. He fixed Marcus with a penetrating stare. And I need to be sure you folks know what you're doing. Miranda was one thing. The Whittaker house is something else entirely. Marcus nodded, understanding the unspoken question. We'll be in town for a few more days. You know where to find us. I'll sleep on it, Tom said, neither confirming nor refusing. That's the best I can offer tonight. Marcus swirled the amber liquid in his glass, gathering his thoughts. The rain's steady rhythm against the window filled the silence between them. There's something else you should know, Marcus said, his voice low. We didn't just find Miranda's remains and give her a proper burial. It was more complicated than that. Tom leaned forward, elbows on his desk. How so? Miranda wasn't just a ghost. Marcus set down his glass, the whiskey untouched. She was trapped, bound to something much darker than her own unresolved death. Bound? By what? Marcus met Tom's gaze directly. A demon. The same one connected to the Whittaker house. Tom's expression shifted from skepticism to unease. That's a strong claim. I wouldn't have believed it myself a few weeks ago. Marcus ran a hand through his damp hair. But I've seen it. We all have. That thing that held Miranda wasn't just some restless spirit. It was ancient, powerful. It used her pain like a battery. And you fought this thing? We did, Marcus nodded, the memory still raw. It manifested when we found her remains. Shadows that moved like they were alive. Voices that got inside your head. It tried to stop us from freeing her. Tom's face paled slightly. And you won? This time. But here's what keeps me up at night, Tom. Marcus leaned forward. We don't know the full extent of Miranda's connection to the Whittaker house. What we do know is that she was tied to this demon against her will, used by it for who knows how long. A floorboard creaked somewhere in the empty tavern. Both men glanced toward the door before Marcus continued. How many more Mirandas are there? How many souls has that place claimed over the years? People who never got their names in ghost stories because they're still trapped. Tom's weathered hands gripped his glass tighter. The disappearances over the years. Exactly. Marcus nodded grimly. And it's getting stronger. The librarian, the locals, even Margaret, they all sense it. That house is like a wound that's been festering for generations, and something tells me it's coming to a head. What makes you say that? The timing, the way it's been drawing us in, the increased activity people have mentioned. Marcus gestured towards the town beyond the window. How long before whatever's in that house decides it's not content staying put? How long before it reaches beyond its boundaries? Thunder rumbled in the distance, punctuating his question. This isn't just about solving a mystery anymore, Marcus said quietly. It's about stopping something before it gets worse, because if we don't, I'm not sure anyone in this town will be safe. Tom drained his glass, setting it down with a decisive clink. You're asking for a lot, you know. Getting people to talk about their darkest memories, their family tragedies. I know, Marcus nodded. But the alternative might be creating more tragedies, more missing persons, more Mirandas. Let me ask you something, Tom said, studying Marcus intently. Why are you doing this? Really? You're not from here. You could just walk away. Marcus's usual defective humor was nowhere to be found as he answered. Because I've seen what this thing can do, and because sometimes you just find yourself in the right place at the wrong time, and walking away isn't an option anymore. Tom nodded slowly, seeming to find what he was looking for in Marcus's expression. I'll see who I can talk to. No promises. That's all I can ask.